Thank you for tuning into another episode of Breaking the Silence where you can unleash your inner voice. So today's guest is Mr. Kevin Mullins from Florence, South Carolina. He is the CEO of Common Ground and the host of Uncommon Rapport that shines the light on artists from everywhere. I am so excited about conversing with him today. So, after the countdown, please welcome this amazing example of greatness to the stage. Hello, hello.
What's good? What's good?
Thank you for being a guest today on the Breaking the Silence.
Absolute, absolute. This is what we're supposed to do.
You're right, you're right. So tell me, how did you come up with your vision for Common Ground?
The vision for Common Ground was already set by the foundational fathers of Mr. Jared Wallace, along with Dale Gilliard and Ricky Gilliard, which was his brother. And I came along about the second or third showcasing that it was having somewhere in Conway at where the old people play bridge at, right? So that's how I came connected with Common Ground first and foremost, because it was not the original vision for me. They gave me an opportunity to extend the vision that they already had set in motion. That was a part of my life. So first, honor, due respect to them, and then it came to a time point where hey, we had to exchange hands, and I told them, I say, hey, I love what you're doing. I don't want it to die down. You know what I'm saying? Very excited about it. And they say, hey, you're the right person for it. So they passed it off. And about 2017, 2018, around that era, that's when it transitioned.
Mm,
And whenever I saw it, I said, hey, I'm gonna put my hands to the till, and we're gonna plow this ground up, and we're gonna grow up one mic at a time. And that's what
wow,
we've been doing ever since.
wow. Nice, nice. So what people do you bring onto your platform? I see you had Semi Nova up there. Semi Nova is going to be
Absolute.
a guest in season 2 as well.
Um, to be honest with you, it's an all-around seasonal artist with us. That's why it's called Common Ground because you have a different plethora of artistry that comes through. It's not just trap music when G-Lo came through at Vibes. It's not just the conscious music whenever he was there as well. We got some spiritual people in the vein. It's all different types and sorts. So yeah, we love it. You know what I'm saying? It's a cultivation of everybody mixing in one pot and they willing to grow out and branch off.
Wow.
Yeah.
Gilo is my actual second cousin.
Word.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, free the boy for real, for real, for real,
Yes.
for real, man.
Mhm. Talented.
Powerful
Very
individual, yes, powerful individual, young and upcoming. But hey, everything gonna come back home and bring it back full circle.
full
You
circle.
already know it, yes.
Full circle.
So
So
yeah,
what out of all the episodes that you had on Common Ground, what would you say is your favorite one?
it would have to be the beginning. You know what I'm saying? Where the seed started. Um, my favorite one is when I got an opportunity to plant my own seed in a sense. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
And whenever I first connected with it, it was like, yo, this is the light in the dark space that we need. And if you know that you are a seed and he gives seed to the sower, it's like you got to plant your foot here, you
Mhm.
know. And once I did, man, in the very beginning, that was what my favorite one was. For real, for real.
But you know what? It's funny you say that because I think I feel the same way as I go along this journey. I it's like I see a missing piece here and there that I'm picking up along the way.
Mm-hmm.
My vision becomes more clearer where I'm going, how I'm gonna do things. And you're right, that first episode probably would be my favorite because it shows growth, you know?
Right,
That's
right,
my growth.
right.
So
And if you
wow.
really think about it, the first thing that you ever dropped into the ground, because see, I was raised up here in the South, so I had the opportunity to spend the summers with my aunts, my mother, you know what I'm saying, actually putting those things into the ground and then coming back a little bit later on in the summer and see those things that how they grew up. So it's like
Mhm.
I got a chance to watch that, but when it came to the music, my mother knew something that I didn't know
Mhm.
because she knew that I was inclined to it. You feel me? So she planted something inside of me. And then whenever I got older, it was my recollection that took place to let me know, like, you know what? Your mom saw this the whole time period,
Mhm.
even though I would clown mom because she was like she could hear certain things, but she couldn't necessarily get the right tune, the right note, this, that, and the third. So we clowned her the whole time. But when she heard a hit, she knew it. And that was the kind of gift set that she passed off to me as well. Because when I hear it, it's like instantly it just pulls me in. So whenever I dive back off into the first showcase in that Common Ground had, it just reeled me back in. You know what I'm saying? It was like, yo, and I didn't know it
Your
in
roots.
totality. Yeah, 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 yeah.
But you know, I was born and raised in South Carolina too, Mullins.
Right.
When in the countries, and my mom used to do the garden too. You know, it's funny how
Mm-hmm.
you compare that to podcasting. Wow,
Yes.
now that was
Yes.
deep. Never thought about it that way, honestly.
Yeah. The roots are more important than the showcasing. You know, the tree does not survive just by the branches and leaves alone, but there's a whole underworking system that happens in order for this branch to survive.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah.
You're right. So tell me a little bit about Nice to Meet You. I seen the last episode. Is the last episode you did was with G-Lo? I couldn't find anything.
Well. See, Nice to Meet You was not Gilo's project, but he was a part of a project by the dear brother Conscious.
Mm,
And
right.
Conscious actually had created an album called Nice to Meet You, and he
Oh.
was on one of the songs
Mm,
that Conscious created, and it was a summer bop. You know what I'm saying?
okay.
It was a summer bop, fire, energetic. You know, we had that showcasing that vibes that night, along with Lace the Hands. But it was an introduction. It was an introduction to the community on what we have here in the PD for the 843
Mm.
and the listeners, the parishioners thereof that was able to come out. I appreciate everybody. It was dope. It was dope. It was
It
dope.
looked like it was
It
when I tuned
was.
into it. And Conscious is also a guest in season two too. I just thought about that too. He's coming on too.
Everything
Mhm.
worked together. Yeah.
Yeah, it's full circle.
Yeah.
Full circle. I
Yeah.
didn't even realize everybody was connected until I
Yeah.
started doing my research. I'm like, what?
Hey, shouts out to Big Cap though, because I'm gonna
Yes.
be honest with you. If it wasn't for Cap, I think you know what I'm saying. I think this is how this connection started. I think he did
Yes.
it. He got the same heart that I got, and I was like, I know what vein this flowed from. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And yeah, Big Cap, and he's connected to other people as well. You know, that's in
Now
the
Simi
same mix.
Nova,
So it's like, yeah,
he brought me Simi Nova too. He every day
right.
he would send me like a list of people, and I'm like, cuz.
Overload, overload. I say it like that.
Thank
Overload.
you, cuz. But yeah,
Yeah,
he's been a support for
overload.
me. He's really been a support.
Absolute. Yeah,
And I love
yeah.
him for it. Honestly, I do.
For real,
So
for real.
what is the story behind your podcast, Uncommon Rapport?
Well, the Uncommon Rapport is,
Report.
yeah, report. It's a different dialect.
Okay.
The Uncommon Rapport is, we don't have these very often, where people can talk deep into discussion and really filled out what people is thinking versus what they're speaking, and then exchange as well. So it's uncommon to do so when it should be the norm.
Mm-hmm.
These kind of conversations should be every day
Every
to
day.
help grow, build, elevate what it is that we got going on. So we call it Uncommon Rapport because that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to build that rapport with individuals who are already escalated, elevated at a certain plateau. You know what I'm saying? That may be their cap, but they know they need a certain other
Boost.
undergirding to help them. Yeah, they help push them to the next level. And with those interviews, I think that was the inspiration and what we casted out to the people.
Wow.
The Uncommon Report started with, I got to shout out my brother Gabe because he actually the one that gave the name. He tied it into actually what was already going on with Common Ground, and I was like, yo, I'm gonna use that. So yeah, that's how we
Wow.
got started.
And there it
And
is.
the first showcasing was through Dale Gilliard and a new brother that was on the team with POE the game, Mr. Nafi. And all those things started the Uncommon Report from the first episode to people giving me a what you should name it like, and it just started trickling in,
Hmm.
started moving with motion, and that's how we got evolved.
So how many episodes are you on right now?
We a little over 20. We're a little over 20 right now.
Okay, so you just
I
starting?
think we're like, yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
just starting over a certain time period, taking time to see what works, what don't work, But things will continue to fast forward.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
really thought you was in it for a long time because when I watched a couple of episodes, I was like, oh yeah, he been doing this for a while, but you said 20.
right, right. So when you know it's for you, you just gonna do. It comes fluid, it comes fluent, you know, and that's what I believe that's gonna happen for real, for real.
So what are three podcasts that you watch that you would recommend and why?
First top off, Mike Tyson with hot boxing.
Okay.
Um, as we know, Mike Tyson, elder, whatever the case may be, he was in the boxing game.
Hmm.
But the guests that he have on the show is somewhat people that is in our culture, what I'm saying, mainstream line. So that's why I like watching the Mike Tyson hot boxing episodes. T.I. expeditiously. Um, Wordplay. You know what I'm saying? If you know T.I., he got words for days.
Yes.
So even the name of his showcasing, you know what I'm saying, expeditiously is like,
Yes.
okay, all right, that's wordplay. If you know what it means, then you know.
You know.
But yeah, but my favorite right now is David Shands with the Social Proof podcast.
Hmm.
David Shands is giving out that information to not only be hip, but it's more business level.
Okay.
So I love that organization. Actually, they have a showcasing getting ready to come up, a podcast, a major conference. You know what I'm saying? Over the 4th of July. So
Hmm.
in Atlanta. So like, yeah, and it's like
Wow.
250 a pop right now. So if you ain't with it, get with
Get with it,
it.
right?
Yeah, yeah. This
Shoot.
will be a great gift to you. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm thinking about right now. I'm gifting somebody something.
Nice, nice. I was thinking about it. I was talking to somebody about the Pod Fest they're having in January.
Okay.
You ever been to that?
No,
Man, they say
I
they
have
have
not.
fun down there in Florida in Orlando.
Who is this sponsored by?
I don't know. I'm trying to find out that information, but I do know it's in Orlando and it's for a
Okay.
week.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, they say
Pod
it's fun.
Fest.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So plan to go to
That's something
that.
we can exchange though, for real, for real.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
So
Because
what
I
can
believe this is the new wave though.
it,
Podcasting is the new wave, and It's a
But
way that can actually be monetized too, though.
but that's the problem. I'm trying to figure out that portion because I
Okay.
love doing what I do, but I would never ever charge anybody to come on my platform. That's
Right.
just not something that my platform is for. So I have to find other ways outside the box to monetize on it, you know?
And when we go to these certain conferences, that's their arena to teach us
Mm-hmm.
how we get monetized based off the gift that we give.
Mm-hmm.
So
Well,
yeah.
do you know Kevin Staggers? I'm sure. Because he's connected
Mm,
to Cap too.
I've heard the name, but do I know him? No.
Okay. He's supposed to be doing a workshop. I believe it's in Florence. In June.
Well, shoot the information. Let me know what's
Mhm.
up.
In June, he's supposed to be doing a workshop for podcasters. And I told him I was gonna plan to attend that to
Okay.
support him for being on the podcast.
Okay. All
So
right.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right. Take it
Connect right
from
there.
yeah.
Micro
Macro to micro. I feel you.
to micro,
That's
exactly.
it. That's it. That's it. That's
So what
it.
characteristics do you think a podcaster has to, they have to have in order to be successful?
Loving people. You're going to have to love people. You're in the business to serve.
Mhm.
If whoever comes upon your platform, it is your duty to serve them with such a gift. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I was trying to express to you early on, whenever, in the back, whatnot, just how you publicized what was going to happen brought about a certain inspiration for me, you know? And you're going to have to love them. You're going to have to actually serve them in the capacity that brings about the inspiration, because you know that those things are what you're going to help them with to keep going.
Right.
And
Mhm.
they could look back on it at any time, excuse me, they could look back on it at any time and realize, you know what, that point really helped in my life. I know I'm going through a downward spiral at that time period, but I know the words that came out of my mouth. I know what the words that came out of her mouth,
Mhm.
and that helped perpetuate a movement that was already in motion to keep
Right.
me going. So I'm gonna reflect back on those good things versus all of the adversity that's coming towards us in the season that we're in. And
Ooh.
that type of inspiration right there is what is needed in our community and our land. Because if you ever get in that wave, in that vein of total inspiration to be inspired, even though you be feeling dismayed, it will help grow you, strengthen you, build your stamina. It will
Mhm.
help you in so many different areas of life, like with your family, with your children, with other relationships, because you understand, like, hey, this is only a season. This is not, yeah, it's a testimony. It's a test of time, not the total time period. So,
Right.
yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
But somebody asked me the question a couple of days ago. Do you think everybody needs to have a podcast? So my answer was no. Everybody is not meant to be behind the mic. Everybody does not have that purpose to be behind that mic. And
Hmm.
everybody does not have the drive and the motivation and the dedication to be behind the mic. So I said no. What do you think?
If I was able to change the question, then I would say, yeah, everybody need to have a personal podcast with themselves, but everybody doesn't need to be an open voice to speak for the
Mhm.
masses.
Mhm.
If
Right.
that's the case, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
agree. I agree.
That's how I would answer that question, because you need to be a voice to yourself, but over that time period, there has to be a cultivation that helps you to grow. You
Mhm.
can't keep telling yourself the same lies that you told yourself in the last season, that I'm doing these things and they're helping me to grow, and you see no manifestation or fruit thereof.
Right.
So the definition there of insanity is doing what same thing that's said. You know what I'm saying? So you got to have that kind of conversation with yourself and say,
You
hey,
do.
you know what now? This is not working. You
Not
know what
it.
I'm saying? Right, 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 right.
Right. I agree with you.
That kind of podcast, but then For the masses, I think there needs to be someone who's actually went through those kind of conversations too,
Right, right.
and they answer certain questions within themselves to actually manifest that change ultimately with the whole God essence within inside of them.
You're right.
Um, yeah, because he took them through a process. Everybody want, gratitude and gratification instant. They
Yes.
want it just like that.
It's not gonna happen
But
like that though.
right, that's a microwave process.
Yes.
But when you've been put in that oven, you already been prepared to be put into the oven.
There you go. There you go. You better speak it.
When you already
You
been
don't know.
prepared to be put into the oven. Look, preparation is one essence of it all, and
Yes.
then you got to just to get into the be heated up. Like, oh man, you know what I'm saying? It's a whole different.
Everybody not built that way. Everybody not built that way now. You
My
better
bad.
speak.
For real,
That was
for
good
real.
stuff. That was good stuff.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
have some two deep questions for you. So
Okay.
if you had the world's attention for 30 seconds, what would you say?
hmm Look within.
Hmm?
Look within.
That's it?
Yeah. 30 seconds. If I had the world's attention, look within.
Mm.
You're gonna see everything on a spectrum and a beam. You feel me? Within those 30 seconds, you're gonna be able to see all of your good and all of your bad. And look within.
Mm.
They're gonna balance thereof.
Wow.
You are life. You know what I'm saying? Look
Okay. I'm
within.
gonna run with that. Look within. I
Look
like that.
within.
So if
We
you
get taught too much external. You know what I'm saying?
you right.
Yeah. That's why I would say that. Yeah.
So what's one thing you would change about society if you could?
Um, the paradigm on how we were shaped in a sense. That's what I would change. The paradigm. I would literally go back to the barter system versus commerce and what it is. The barter system is an exchange of gift from one to another. There's peace there. There's love there. You know that you're doing a certain exchange for a certain purpose, and your purpose that you're doing your exchange for meets the same expectations of the next. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
that's something that I would change. But with the whole uh I'm trying to think of the word. It's not commerce, but we have a certain mentality where everything is for sale.
Right.
You know
Mm,
what I'm saying? There's some things that you really have to connect with your partner with in order to grow and keep
mm,
that, perpetual movement going. Like
mhm.
for real. I can't think of the word right now. It's gonna come to me, but a capitalist mindset. That's it. My bad. I'm sorry.
This mindset.
Capitalism. You know what I'm saying? How to always gain more and we ain't doing enough with the enough that we already been granted with.
Hmm.
You
I
know what I'm
like the way you
saying?
think.
Yeah. The barter system will work perfectly in a world of peace and
Perfect.
love though, for real,
You're
for real.
right. You're right.
Yeah.
But I agree.
That's something that I would change in the world. Capitalist mindset. They have you thinking too much about is this the right move, this the wrong move. When it's barter, you already know it's the right move because of the morality of where you giving yourself from and the morality that they gave themselves from.
Hmm.
So yeah, that's something that I would change. But hey, we in this dog eat dog world.
Right. Eating us up.
For real,
It
for
is
real.
what it is. So my most important question for you is how can people follow your journey? Where can they find you to follow your podcast appearances,
hmm
follow your artists and everything?
Well, for the most part, I wrote the Mister. I wrote the Most High. If you follow all those social medias, or I wrote the Most High. you're gonna find me personally. But for the business of Common Ground, if you look up on Common Ground on Facebook, One Common Ground on Snapchat, One Common Ground on Instagram, that's where you can find that. And if you just plug in Uncommon Rapport on YouTube, our Common Ground page will pull up.
Mhm.
Literally, we're the only ones that
Literally.
has that. Literally, I've done it myself. So if you pull up Uncommon Report on YouTube, that's our YouTube page. You're gonna see it. It's in the background. It's on the show. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so I got one more question. See, I'm
Talk
off.
to
I'm
him.
off. This ain't even on script. So, with the artists, do you
Mhm.
invite? How do you get your artists in to get on the stage? Like you
How do
said,
I
you
get
do in
them on the
person.
stage?
Yeah, you say you do it in
For
person.
the for the most part, those people are not afraid of the stage. You know, the people that we have on stage is not afraid of the stage. They've already been on stage for the most part already. Now a new beginner, how would I get a new beginner that does not have the formality of stage presence, this, that, and the third? That's where the inspiration comes from. Putting that inside of them, letting them know that they can do versus the I cannot do. And once you put that in them, it's like, okay, they get it now. And then they'll step out and it'll be like a new faith to them, but the whole time in your head, it's like, I know you got that one inside of you. This is my job to provoke that to happen. You get a chance to see behind the scenes a little bit and be like, hey, this person is struggling with this thing. So if you can help them in this area of their life, it's gonna help you as well. And that goes back to that barter exchange though. Because now they're on your platform, they're gonna promote it to the best of their ability. It's their first time and they're gonna tell everybody. So it's a two-way factor.
Right.
Um, yeah, and I've seen it happen time and time again.
So you do something like a open mic for them.
Absolute, absolute,
Okay.
absolute. You
So
can
do
catch us
they?
from Myrtle Beach to Columbia
Okay.
with
Do they
that.
sign
Mhm.
up? Do they have to go on the website to sign up, or how do they join?
Well, normally if they come to the show, then and they're ready to perform, we just put their name on the list.
Hmm.
Pop up style, open mic,
Okay.
and we get the show rocking.
And what days? What days do you do it?
Most likely it's going to be on a Saturday or a Friday or weekend days.
Okay. And nighttime?
Absolute, absolute,
Okay.
absolute.
I'm gonna have to pop up on you.
Already, we got some things in the works.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much for being a guest on Breaking the Silence. You know, I really appreciate you to the fullest.
All praises, all
The,
praises, all
the,
praises.
the before and the during and everything. I appreciate you so much.
Look at the after effect and the manifestation thereof, though. That's what my mind said. Because I got some people that I'm gonna send your way because I want you to bloom. I want you to blossom. I want you to go ahead and shine. I want you to go ahead and shine, and you're doing it already. But I want to go ahead and add to that. I want to give. I want to do my contribution of giving towards what it is that you got going on. And I know that you need those slots filled. So that, yeah, I'm gonna do that for you.
Thank you.
And
Thank you. Thank
likewise, make the exchange.
you. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Anybody that I know that I can bring your way, I'm gonna bring your way too. But that's why I asked you what you was looking for as far as a
Hmm.
guest, because then I can know who to fit where.
Right, right.
So hey. And thank
Hey,
you,
we
thank you,
here
every
now.
yeah, we here. Thank you, everyone else out there, for tuning into yet another episode of Breaking the Silence with Arthur, Nikki, Nicole. I do appreciate your support. Share and subscribe to your YouTube channel, Breaking the Silence Podcast. Well, actually, in 30 minutes, less than 30 minutes, Brian Grindon is going to be on the stage at 2 o'clock. Great dude in the television industry. Actually, Kat also recommended him as well. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So make sure you tune in at 2 p.m. to hear about his story in the television production. At 6 p.m., the virtual Breaking the Silence open mic will be at 6 p.m. We have a lineup of 5 featured artists that's going to hit the stage tonight. So make sure you tune in at 6 p.m. for that. And but stay tuned, and make sure you do something good for somebody today. If it's nothing but telling them I love you, some type of support, in some type of way, the littlest things matter. Believe me, I'm one to believe that little things go a long way, and sometimes you just don't know what people are going through. So bless somebody today. Tell them you love them, support them in some type of way. And once again, Mr. Kevin, thank you so much for gracing my stage of Breaking the Silence.
Absolute.
This is Kevin Mullins, Mr. I Read the Most High, here with Arthur Nikki in your community right now. We love you.
All right, peace. Have a good day.